am muted. All right, so I will wait for everybody to come in. Please invite your friends, your acquaintances. We're live today to talk about fatherhood. If you can see me, please do let me know that you can see me and make a comment in the comment section so that I will know that you are here with me, all right? While we wait for people to log in from everywhere. All right. Good afternoon, Vivian. I see you. All right. If you can see me, please do let me know that you can see me. We would appreciate that. All right. And if you can see me on YouTube, I guess we're live also on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Adama. Thank you so much for joining me. I see you well. All right. That is awesome. All right. While we are at it, let's wait for people to log in. All right. Thank you so much for coming in. I can see you clearly. Thank you. All right. Thank you, YouTube family. I see you. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. I am yours. Oh, you are mine. All righty, I see you. Hi, Omolola. All right, we're going to start in a bit. We just want to make sure that everything is okay. Thank you for joining us. I can hear you. Hi, Solomon. It's good to have you here. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Please, if this is your first time of joining me on a Tuesday live class, let me see the hashtag and say first time joining you on a Tuesday live class. First time. Let me just see the hashtag. All right. So as we go and we wait for people to log in, we are here every Tuesday. We're having this conversation on parenting. All right. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Welcome here. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I am very sure that your time is going to be rewarding. So if it's your first time, let me see the hashtag. Hi, Chidima. It is your first time. Hi, Mom. My mom is here. Hello. It's good to have you here, Mom. All right. So if you are on YouTube, I can see the comments. All right, great. First time, Jude Afam. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we are going to be talking about, I can see that we have some men in this conversation today. We're excited. All right. So first time, we'll have a lot of first timers. Yeah, should we sing for them? All right. Should we sing for them today? All right. I'm going to stop the music in my background as soon as it's 2:05 to allow people to come in. Hi, Jenny, my sister is here. Thank you so much for joining me. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. All right. So today we are looking at the roles of fatherhood. What other roles should fathers, play apart from just being, a father? And paying the bills. All right. So, we say that, fatherhood is all about paying bills and all of that. Is it really all about paying bills? What else should a father be doing? All right. We are going to be raising a conversation. And by the way, this is the month for fathers. And we are pushing this conversation further and further to make sure that we get results, not just on the part of the mothers who are always attending the courses anyway, but we're looking at the fathers. All right. The world is you will call me. All right, so we have stopped. We have stopped the music in the background. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Chioma. I appreciate. All right. Thank you again and again. And if you're just joining us, this is our Tuesday live session. Every Tuesday, we are here live at 2 p.m. having a conversation, one conversation after another, talking about the things that we can do, right, for the society to make where we live a better place. Invite that friend. Share the link if you're on YouTube. All right, share that link. If you're on our Facebook community, you can share link. You need to tag a parent to see this. And inviting a parent to actually hear this might be one of the greatest things that you do for the society. So who is a father? We're talking about fatherhood. All right. What are the roles of fathers? What are the roles of fathers? Is it just about providing? All right. Is it just about providing? Thank you so much, Deaconess Afolabi. That's thank you so much, Ma. I appreciate. Is it enough for you to just say, I am, a father, and I'm providing everything in the home? Is that enough? So we're saying today that fatherhood is much, much, much more than that. It's much, much more than saying, I am Papa Emeka. If you're Emeka, please forgive me. I use Emeka a lot. Emeka is my brother. Or you say, I am Papa Dayo. Is that enough to be a father to someone? All right. Or you say, I am this person's father, and they call you, and then you glory on it and all of that. So are there things that you should do? All right. Are there other things that a father should do? I'm going to start this conversation on sharing some statistics, of what fathers, people who do not have fathers actually go through. Okay. Just give me a minute. As I call up the statistics. These statistics are not statistics by me, for the record. There were researches done over the years by different organizations, UN, UNICEF, and all of that. So I'm going to be providing you with these statistics. Again, these are not my words. They're not me saying them. But it will proven over and again that this is actually one of the issues, that one of the things that happen when children have parents who are absent, or fathers who are absent. So so you see the facts. Let us look at these just facts that we have. It says that involved fathers improve their children's overall emotional and social well-being. That's one. It also says that children with involved fathers are less likely to be mistreated. That's two. It also says that children who live with their fathers do better in school. That's another fact. And these things are facts proven over and again. It also says that teen boys who live with their fathers are less likely to carry guns and deal drugs. This is from National Fatherhood Initiative, the US. There's also another statistics I'm reading from a group in Nigeria as well, that also say that involved fathers reduce the mother's parenting stress. He also says that according to the census that we had in the US some time ago, it says that 19.5 million children, more than 1 in 4, live without their fathers in the home. What is actually most disturbing is that men with absent fathers are more likely to become absent fathers themselves. I was reading this on a study that was conducted in Nigeria by UNICEF. Okay, so sorry, a study that was conducted in Nigeria by UNICEF, and we needed, I needed to find out what happens in our own climate. The statistics are overwhelming. It says that children without fathers living with them are 47% more likely to live in poverty. It says that boys have fewer behavioral problems when their fathers are involved. It says that infant death within the first 28 days of their lives is 4 times higher for those with absent father than those with uninvolved fathers. It says that father's absence can actually cause more. The likelihood is more for children to, have teen pregnancy because, of the absence of their fathers. It also says that there is a chance 279% are more likely to carry gun, deal drugs than their peers who live with their fathers. Hi, Clara. All right. So we need to actually begin to look at these statistics and begin to undo a lot of things. Currently in the Inner Circle program, the Inner Circle is a program that we run, right, in the academy. And in the Inner Circle program, I was having a conversation with some parents. And, when we're reviewing the book, we're currently reading the book, Raising Boys. And, we were talking about the involvement of fathers. And a lot of parents, as usual, said, oh, are there cases, right? Are there cases where the child would do better, without a father and all of that? And I said something that is, quite interesting. Scientifically proven. It is said that the presence of the father, whether bad, good, or whatever, it's not, that's not the issue. But that the presence of the father emits some system in the home. There's an emotional system that is created in a home where there is a father and a home where there is none. And when we try to argue, when we had that conversation, I said to the parents, I said, it is important that we begin to understand what we are dealing with and then deal with it from the point of knowledge instead of dealing with it from the point of hypocrisy and lack of knowledge. And that's what is happening currently, where we have people, a lot of people who are, please pardon me, I'm not saying that being a single parent is a sin or whatever it is that we want to put it. Don't quote me out of context. I am saying that the presence of a father makes a difference. So when we come out on social media and we create all those woke conversations, where we're saying, oh, and all of that, oh, we don't really need all of that to happen. Oh, we don't really need a father. You hear some people, some single mothers say things on social media. Oh, who needs a man and all of that to parent their child? So I'm saying this from the point of, if you find yourself in that place, then something needs to be done. It's not okay. You need to do something. Create a system that gives your child that sense of having that system in their home. Fathers are important elements to a child. Very important. Unfortunately, in the system where we operate in Nigeria, we are actually having fathers who are involved but not involved. I'm going to explain that. Fathers who are involved but not involved. A lot of people who grew up in our generation, I was talking to someone recently and I said that my father gave me a bath till I was a certain age. And the person said, your dad gave you a bath. I didn't see my father do nothing. All he did was to sit in the home, read newspapers, and nothing else. Now, we are having present fathers who are absent. So there is also a side to this. Present fathers who are absent. It's also a bad signal for us. We need to understand that we cannot parent in that manner anymore. We need to understand that these systems need to be looked into. And the more, when we understand the importance of what we're doing, it will give us more insight to be able to do things a lot more better instead of arguing from the point of no knowledge. All right. Yes, I'm going to come to that. What should single mothers do to cover up the gap and all of that? The role of a father in the family is important as that of a mother. And a child with a healthy relationship with a father figure grows up to have higher level of psychological health and quality of relationship naturally. So they serve as the fathers. What are their roles? So apart from providing, the fathers serve as a role model. All right. If you hear anything, right, that you want to please put it in the comment section so that you would remember that, and then so that people can follow the conversation as well. A child with a healthy relationship with a father figure, all right, with a father figure, grow up to have higher level of psychological health and quality relationship. They serve as their first role models, especially for the sons, for their early interactions with their father, and also a blueprint of what a relationship should be. And this impact is both on the son and on the daughter. And unhealthy relationship with a father figure can significantly impact not only your child's psychological part, right? But it can also look at their unconscious relational choices as adults. Unconscious relational choices as adults. This is an important aspect of parenting. When we talk about, I need you to note that it's almost impossible. I need to say this. It's almost impossible, right? To alter. It is possible, but it is really hard to alter the internalized relational blueprint that forms when your children are young. Again, it is difficult. Let me use that word. Now, the possibility is that it's going to take a high level of significant psychotherapeutic intervention to shift these unconscious and deep-rooted pathways. Unfortunately, these things are not even being looked at. Excuse me. You're going to unconsciously see yourself doing things that you shouldn't have done. And you will not know it's because you didn't have a father figure on your parenting journey. You will know until you actually have a process, right? Sorry, I needed to take some water. Until you actually, look at a process. You might actually continually make wrong choices on your relationships, and you will not know where it's coming from. And somewhere in your mind, I don't know what is wrong with me. I have seen people who continually stay in abusive relationships, not because they want to. So when people blame people who stay in abusive relationship, I see deep-rooted issues. I see deep-rooted relationship choices. I see this from people who didn't have. You will see a lot of the gaps from the way they were raised. I'm going to share something that is quite interesting. We don't know how deep parenting goes. I was listening to Derele's interview. Someone sent me a part of Derele's interview that bothers so much on parenting. And when he shared that part, and I listened to it, and I saw how unconsciously children internalize some of these things and become who they are. You wonder why Derele Odu is a Nigerian celebrity. I don't know what to call him, but I had some different kind of, in case you're listening to me outside of Nigeria, and a showbiz person who is started cross-dressing at some point and all of that. And when he shared the things that happened to him growing up, that's when I knew where he was coming from. So it's easy for us to blame people and say, yes, this is how they are and all of that. But how about we go deeper and begin to look at the things that happened to them as children? We usually run this course, Healing from Parenting Hurt. And whenever we do, we get to see the deep hurt, the deep-rooted issues. I've seen people make choices just because their internal mind, right, is making those choices subconsciously without them knowing that they are making those choices subconsciously. And you tell them they don't even know what is wrong with them, which is actually the problem. That's the real issue. All right. So it is important that we begin to look at, a lot of these things and look at how it affects the child in the today. It's okay for us to parent anyhow we want. How we share on our community on Facebook, for those of us who are watching on YouTube, and you hear the parents in our community say things like, oh, do what works for you, or it's going to work for you. However, whatever works for you and all of that. What works for you might not necessarily be what is good for the child. So you should do what is good for the child, not what works for you, really. The fact that it's working for you, is it really good for the child? What happens to the child eventually? That's the question you need to ask anytime you say that thing. Do what works for you. Is this thing that is working for me working for this child? Is this child going to be able to actually, take up more, stuff and all of that? So that is, another point. Another point that is that fathers, I say fathers serve as first role models. Another thing is that expressing love and modeling healthy relationship is the job function of a father. Check any child who grew up without a father. This is a big deal for them. We can argue it all we want, but these are facts. No, now what I say is that we need to begin to look at the issues so that we can know where we can tackle it from. You can know where we can tackle it from. How you doing? Why you can tag the people you want to be on the video, or you can share if you want to share the link from our YouTube channel. You can share to your friends and family, because you can't share links on our community because it's a closed community on Facebook. Thank you. You need to understand that the way fathers express love and model healthy relationship is not the same. They are the ones. It's given to them to actually be able to do it. Now, a fathers bring unique, contributions that no one else can replicate. No one else. A mother can't replicate it, no matter how much you try. It's a standard. Okay, so, and we need to understand that. Now, fathers parent differently. They parent differently because their style of communication and interaction is different. By 8 weeks, a child already can distinguish between the father and the mother. So what that simply means is that the child is being able to understand this diversity. Now, isn't this diversity in itself that provides the child with borders, with richer experiences of contrasting relational interaction? This is where they learn, that men and women are different. And that this understanding, that we must understand that this understanding is critical to the well-being of the man, of the child. Very critical. So that's where the child actually even learn it. We were in the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge. And I was sharing in that challenge to parents. If you didn't attend that challenge, trust me, where are the parents that were in that challenge? Say yay, all right? If you didn't attend that challenge, trust me, you missed a lot. It's not your, come and, your ordinary sex education, kind of thing. No, this is different. And I was sharing in that conversation how, sex education for the boy is different for the girl. And, a lot of parents were wowed because we do not even understand that there's a visible, difference. Yes, I see you, Faithful. I see you, Esther. All right. I see you guys, and there's a visible difference. Ask any parent who was at Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. They will tell you that it is a different dimension. It was a different dimension of, sex conversation. Different dimension. It's not your usual. All right. And, the learnings were, so dynamic. They were so different. And it's because we need to begin to understand the difference between boy and girl. We have a problem with that. Thank you so much, Oluchi, with all the fire. We had a problem with that, right? And, we do not still understand what exactly we should be doing. That's why we're still on social media arguing, oh man, oh woman, this is different, this is not different. After all, what a man can do, a woman can do, and all of that. Don't get me wrong. A woman can be all that she wants to be and all of that. But do not get it twisted. A man and a man are not different. Don't get it twisted. If you didn't attend that session, trust me, you need a replay. Ask us for how to get a replay, and you will get a replay. You sit down with it and reform your whole system about how we are even sex educating our children. But sex educating our children without, from the point of no knowledge. And that's what we're also doing with raising our children. Where, yes, some of us are single mothers. We do not have a choice. We became single mothers by circumstances. But we have refused to learn what we need to do to make sure that our children are not counted in the statistics of having absentee fathers. You do nothing, they are counted. It's not a cause. All right? These are things that, they happen because that's how God created it. Created a system that helps the child between the father and the mother. Okay? And I said that fathers love differently. Fathers don't love like mothers. It's fathers, they love more. If you want to get the replay, people are already asking for replay. Just put replay in the comment section if you want to get the replay of the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro. My team will send you details of how to get the replay. All right, you get a replay for 5,000 naira flat, and you will be able to get all the worksheets that we shared. We had 4 worksheets for those sessions. You need to get that replay. I'm not. It's not brag. We know that challenge was, everything that you need. All right. So fathers love differently. All right. They love differently. If you are on YouTube and you want to get the replay, let me have Precious. Can you please share the link? If you're not able to share the link right on our YouTube channel, please share it with me on WhatsApp, so I will just copy and then paste in the studio. Just do let me know. If you want to get the replay and you are on Facebook, all you need to do is just to put replay and my team will respond to you. All right, so fathers, fathers love differently. I was saying that fathers love more dangerously than their mothers do, because fathers' love is more expectant. They are more instrumental. So it's not like the love of a mother. There's a fierceness that the love of a father brings, and every child needs to feel it. Every child needs to feel it. It's a feeling, all right? You need to feel it. So while we are saying that, oh, mothers love, mothers love with emotions, fathers don't love with emotions. That's the difference. That's the difference. Fathers do not love with emotions. So it's those emotions that we're actually talking about. Fathers love with, their head put together. The love with, giving you a sense of pride. That is actually what is required, right, for a balance. Mothers are nurtured in nature. They are, you see the nurture and all of that of the mother and all of that. But fathers, are the ones that bring that stability, all right, to that whole love in the family. It's needed. Another thing that fathers do is that fathers communicate differently. They communicate differently. I tell you why. Mothers, talk to you, oh, you need to, with all the emotions. We're created like that. You can't take it away. No matter how tough, no matter how tough you want to be as a woman, there's that softness, there's that emotions that comes by. Fathers communicate differently. A mother would talk to you and want to simplify it. So they tell you things like, you need to do it in a way you will understand it. The simplification of communication is actually given by mothers. Then fathers they are actually the ones that communicate in a way that challenges a child to think. Mothers don't have that capability. So a father speaks to you, you sit down and you think, and you are challenged. So, in fact, he said that father's words are the things that expand your mind, the words of the father. So, if you're not speaking to your child is missing the ability to be able to expand their thinking and to be able to actually, have a more capability for challenges. I remember that growing up, my father will just tell you things like, in a very funny way in my dialect, and that's all. As you're going, maybe you're going to somewhere. My father just calls you and just says, you know this, you know who you are, you know what you need to do. Be careful. My mom will tell you, no, you need to do this, and that's how women are created. But I remember the soundness of my dad's words till tomorrow. I remember, growing up, I was having a conversation with my siblings recently, and they said to me, do you remember what daddy used to say? And I said, what is it? They said, anything that you're doing in your life, and it is not stealing, it's not illegal, it's not prostitution, whatever it is, do it proudly. Whoa, that's one of the things that I don't forget. Now it takes us to the next point. From that communicating differently and expanding you to get challenged, it's fathers that build confidence. It's fathers that build confidence. They are the ones that build courage. They are the ones that build independence. Have you ever been to a play group, a play system? It is the mother that will say, be careful, don't jump over there. Oh no, don't do that. The fathers will say, oh yeah, come and try and swim. Fathers have the ability to create a self-confident child. See, it's easy for me to tell a child who is self-confident. It is easy for me to tell a child whose father is involved by their confidence level. I was talking in a church in Calabar, recently, and the children were doing some presentations, and I told the pastor that I can already see the children whose fathers are involved in their upbringing and the ones whose fathers are not. The timidity that a lot of people actually have today is because of the absence of their fathers in the system. Very important. The absence of their fathers in the system. So they become so timid. So they end up, not being able to, actually put a lot of things together. The words of the Father is the things that you need to go back to the Bible. When you go back to the Bible and look at how the Bible, talks about, did you see any mother speaking to any child that was recorded? Kai, you guys need to go back to the Bible and read. When you see how the Bible, right, it says Abraham said to Isaac. They didn't say Sarah. You won't find Sarah was speaking to Isaac in the words. You will see the words that made sense. It was the fathers speaking to their sons. It was the fathers speaking to their sons. It's important for us to understand that this role is key. So they build confidence, courage, and independence. Mothers protect. Fathers encourage children to push boundaries. Fathers encourage children to push boundaries. While we're growing up, while my mom is listening to me, and while while we say things like, so should we try and all of that, it's my father, right? It's my father that actually puts a lot of system. Somebody is saying King Lemon's mother spoke to him in Proverbs. Yes, that's Proverbs 31. How many mothers were there? All right, I'm talking about majority. Okay, all right. So when you have that system, all right, it helps your child. It helps a child to stand tall. Okay, my dad would tell you, you can try this. Go ahead and try it. Nothing's going to happen. All right. And my mom would tell you, oh, be careful. Now, let me say this again. That balance is important. That balance is important. So you can have, a father. You can have a father who is that extreme because, of course, the father will just tell you, oh, just do it and all of that. You need the balance. You need the mother. You need the father. So that's the point. That's the point. All right. And we need to actually begin to look at all of this and then know where the issues are coming from. Point out one child who lacks self-confidence. I will show you that child whose father was uninvolved. It sounds like a blanket, statement. Oh, how do you say that? Oh, there are people who their mothers raised, and how many of them? That's the question. Now, when we share the statistics of our absentee fathers and what the mothers can do, it does not mean. I have seen people that single mothers have raised, and and they have turned out, they are doing excellently well. But we're looking at the larger percentage of this. That's the real issue. All right, the larger percentage of this. Go to the prisons. One of my friends that's also going to speak at the Fathers Conference went to the prisons in Lagos and Port Harcourt to do a review. He said he found out that 80% of the boys who were in the juvenile delinquency system, who were in the prison, maybe like 18, 19 young boys, that 80% of them had fathers who were not involved in their lives. And you think it's a joke? It is a huge statistics. So what we are talking about is that we need to understand that this is not a norm. It's not a norm. It's not normal anymore. It's not something that we can now glory in. We can't glory in it because I'm now seeing people who now come out and say, oh, who needs a father? I've seen people rant all sorts on social media and say you don't need a father. Mothers can do everything for their children. No. We need to understand that these things are key. So when you are a single parent, parenting singly, you understand the war you are fighting. You get the right knowledge and you fight it to finish. So you're not fighting half war while you're at it. All right? One of the things that fathers can do is also to become the priest of the home. It's another role of fathers. You need to become the priest of the home. I refer again to the Bible. I refer again to the Bible. Many of the founding fathers that we are saying, oh, Abraham, oh, Isaac, and all of that, they were the ones. They were the ones that took charge of their homes. One of your roles, right? One of your roles, is being able as a father to actually direct whatever it is that you believe in for your children. Be it Islam, be it Christianity, be it whatever it is. But one of your roles is to be a priest in your home. It's the role of the father. I know the fact that women are the ones full in church without the men, it is not normal. It's not normal. Let's not get it twisted. And I'm also here standing to also say, I like to also call myself out. It was one of the things that my father didn't get. He didn't understand it. It was a later part in my life that my father even started taking up the mantle and all of that. It is a wrong system. It doesn't make it normal. Interestingly, my father is going to be listening to me. But it's not normal. We need to call these things what they are. Because if we don't, we will not begin to actually understand what should be done and what shouldn't be done. So what we are doing, right? What we are doing is that we're now saying things like, women should be the one praying, or women should do it. I know that's what we grew up to see. I grew up to see that. But I saw at a point in my life, my own, I saw that it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. It's not normal. If you're a man listening to me, this thing of the hand of priesthood in your home is on you, not on a woman. That's one of the roles that you must play apart from providing. Watch any home that the father is the priest. There is a difference. Just do your analysis on your own. This is not me doing any statistics. There is a difference. In the Bible, how many mothers spoke to their children? Someone was telling me, Lemon's mother spoke to them. How many mothers spoke to their children in the Bible? That was recorded. All of them were being spoken to. Their father was the ones that actually, did the prayers. They were the ones that communicated with God. When the Bible is being referred to, you hear the gods of my fathers. The gods of my fathers. That's what you hear. You don't hear the God of my mothers. The God of my fathers. So we need to actually face this in our society. I'm calling out the things that we think is normal, and we go around and just say, they tell you, you need to just be part of it. He said, I beg, my wife is always praying, it's okay. If your wife prays more than you, it's a failed system in your home. Quote me anywhere. I'm going to boldly defend it. If your wife is a prayer warrior and you cannot war like your wife, there is a problem. It's a broken system. You need to fix it. Because it's not the job of a woman. It wearies the woman to be a spiritual head. It wearies her. It wears out a woman. You need to get it. So if you're a father, you need to take up that mantle. The mantle of leadership is on you. The mantle of, being able to preside and speak the words over your children. Children whose fathers speak over. Children whose fathers speak over have a different outcome. It's not the same. Again, you can argue it all you want, but this is the truth. So your spiritual, path as a father, you're not taking it up. You're leaving it to a woman. A woman is not wired. That's the word, Chinyerubina. Thank you. A woman is not wired to lead the family spiritually. That's not one of the things that a woman is wired to do. A woman can do it, but a woman is not naturally wired to do it. They're two different things. It's just like, in quotes, provision. A woman can, but a woman is not wired. When a woman becomes a breadwinner in a home, a system is broken. I'm not saying that it can't be done. It can, but a system is broken. We need to get these things. I like the way Judah put it. We need to identify what is broken We need to identify what is broken in the system and reflect on the ways to fix it. Oh my goodness, that's it. Because if we do not, then that's just all of the this thing is just going round. Another role of a father is that a father is the one that actually sets boundaries that work. A woman can just be saying, oh, the children, they need to do this. When the father comes, all right, when the father comes, there is a clear, distinct boundary. The Igbo people will tell you that a woman does not raise a man. That's what the Igbo people will tell you, right? It's that it's a saying in my place. So we need to understand the clear boundaries. The clear boundaries. So the boundaries that we set as women can only be reinforced, with that father figure. With that father figure. All right? So it is important that those boundaries, that you come in to be that parent with those boundaries. So if we come in, to do these things and say, oh no, that's what they're saying, what are they saying, and all of that, then we miss it. But if we begin to call attention to what should be called attentions to, then we will come from the place of truth. Unfortunately, we were raised to become hypocritical. Not many of us can stand true and say, oh, my father didn't do this part well, and I want it done better. And unfortunately, that's one of the challenges that we have. Something that we need to undo. That I'm saying today that, oh, my father was supposed to, do priesthood and all of that. My father did every other thing. But being the priest of the house was a challenge. It doesn't mean that he was supposed to be, he's a bad father. No. I'm just telling you that I was able to identify what didn't work. And I'm able to actually undo and redo a lot of things. So we need to actually parent from that, point. Parent from that point. A father brings unique contributions. That's another point. A father brings unique contributions that no one else can replicate. No one. Because fathers parent differently. Now, that's another role. All right? Fathers parent differently. The style of communication, the style of interactions, and all of that. It is different. And every child's need is not want. Every child needs, fathers who will be able to actually be there. Now, all of this that we're saying, are we saying that good fathers are perfect? No. We're saying that good fathers are not perfect, but it's just about the will. A good father is about the will to undo a lot of things. A good father is about the will to undo a lot of things. Do not leave your parenting journey to your wife. If you're not taking up these roles, the roles of, building confidence in your father, in your children, the role of preparing your children for the real world, it is you that has the responsibility. That has the responsibility to actually prepare your child for the real world. It's fathers that can do it. Only fathers. Because that's, part of the system that you were built in. Fathers are the one. You provide, the look, of the world to the men. You provide that's that thing. You are the one that provides that look. What it is that the man is feeling. The boy child should do. And then, lastly, you need to also understand that role modeling how men should behave is from a father for sons, and then also for their daughters. So the role of role modeling. I don't know if you have a son, at some point, your son is going to be looking at you, the woman. When you say something, you just say, women talk. You need to stand up. If you have a son, especially, and you're not there for your son as a father, you are breaking up the system. You are breaking up the system. Please, Today, I am calling on every father to stand up to this responsibility. Now, I'm going to share, more risk of actually not being there. What are the risks of actually not being there? 10 facts about fathers not being there. Fathers can be attached as well. When both parents are involved in a child, in fact, attachment to both parents from the beginning, it actually serves the child better. Fatherhood involvement is related to positive child health outcome in infants. Some has improved weight gain in preterm, improved weight gain in preterm children, and also improved breastfeeding rates. You also have fathers' involvement using, the kind of training that should parenting the way they should. I said in the Sex Educate Your Child Challenge, I said, healthy men do not just happen. Healthy men are created in healthy homes with an intentional process. So the fact that you have a healthy home doesn't even guarantee you that you're going to have a good, a perfect home. I was a perfect, system and all of that. I was having a conversation with the parents in the inner circle, the that's when we were doing our book review. And, when we were talking, I said to them that the fact that someone is a virgin marries doesn't guarantee a good marriage. It is the knowledge you have about marriage that guarantees one. So yes, you are involved, but you do not have the knowledge to actually know how to involve in the real sense of it. It will still be the same thing. So that's why I said that healthy men do not just happen. Healthy men are created in healthy homes with, with a healthy homes with an intentional process. All right, we said that in the Sex Educate Your Child like a pro. I said that fathers, children who have involved father are more likely to breastfeed more and also get gain more weight in preterm. It also says that children who feel close to their fathers are twice likely as those who do not to enter higher institutions. 75% less likely to have a teenage pregnancy, 80% less likely to spend their time in jail, and half as likely to experience multiple depression systems. Fathers occupy a critical role in child development. Father's absence hinders development from early infancy, through childhood into adulthood. So the psychological harm of a father's absence experienced through childhood persists throughout your lifetime. It will persist throughout your lifetime. The quality of a father-child relationship matters more than the specific amount of time spent. Now, I'm going to say this. It's not about being present. It's about being present with content and with connection. If you're present without content and with connection, is as good as not being present. So, presence. The problem is, are we present with the right tools? So when you say, oh, I'm present, oh, I'm there for my children and all of that, are you really present with the right tools? These are some of the questions that you would need to ask yourself. Am I present with the right tools? Children with actively involved parents are 43% more likely to earn A's in school and 33% less likely to actually repeat a grade than those without fathers. Fatherhood engagement reduces the frequency of behavioral problems in boys and also decreases delinquency and economic disadvantage in low-income families. Fatherhood engagement reduces psychological problems and rate of depression in young women. Overall, the impact of the father figure is substantial. There are just too many fathers' involvement. The effect of father's absence can be detrimental. You need to see the statistics by UNICEF. Time won't even permit me to read all the statistics. They are overwhelming. So if you're not, even present, you can even say, oh, I'm present and all of that and all of that. But you don't even know how you can engage. That's even a problem in itself.
So you can tell me, oh, you're always there. Always there. The question is always there, doing what? When parents tell me this and say, I'm always there, I do everything, and all of that, I ask the question, always there, when you are always there, what are you doing what exactly? In what? So you are, on this process, you're on this journey, you're a father listening to me. We have that there's so much. There's so much. I remember talking to someone, and I said to the person that we have the inner circle program, and we do not have up to 20% of fathers in the whole of the inner circle program. Crazy, but the truth. Unfortunately, that is our truth. Fathers are not involved. That is why the theme of this year's conference says the involved father. We want you involved. We're not interested in taking your place. I don't know about any other woman. I tell my husband, I'm not even interested in doing your job. It's very hard. I'm not interested. I am not interested at all. We're not interested. You need to come and be there. We find fathers, in the inner circle. We have just few fathers, and they are actively active. And I tell you, there's a difference in their parenting journey. It's not the same. We were doing the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge. We had 2,000 plus parents, and we did not have up to 100 fathers. That's a shame. That's a shame completely. We didn't have up to 100 fathers in that class. We had about maybe 80 or something out of 2,000 parents. That is crazy. There are very few fathers who came in, paid for themselves, paid for their wives, attended the sessions and all of that, reached out to me. It's unfortunate that we're where we are, but we can undo the system. For me, this is a call to undo the system. Do you know that if you get involved in teaching your child sex education, do you know it makes more meaning to your child than when just the mother is teaching it? Sex conversations, when it's balanced with the father, makes more sense than when it's just the mother ranting. At some point, the children are going to see their mother as just, she's always saying one thing, it's okay. You're not involved. You're not teaching sex education. We say, come and learn. You say, parenting is for women. And we say these things with, it just doesn't matter. Provision is the lowest entry form of being a parent. Provision is the lowest entry form of being a parent. Financial provision is the lowest entry form. So you can relegate yourself, all right? You can relegate yourself to the background where, you are a provider. That's just the lowest entry form. It's okay. And it's fine. The real work is in you being involved. Are you the involved father? Are you that involved father? We're having a conference where a community of 78,000 people, almost 20-something thousand people on our Facebook community. I don't think we have up to 30% of fathers. I don't think so. We're a community of almost 5,000 people on YouTube. I don't think we have more than, how many? 300 fathers? Because in our mind, we think that parenting is only for women. If a woman is doing parenting for you, you have failed. I'm sorry to say this if I hit you so hard, but that is the truth. You need to go back and go and hold the hand of that woman and parent with her. That is the only way. That is the only way, because there is nothing your wife can do to be able to build your children to have confidence. There's nothing your wife can do to be able to actually turn, the tides and prepare your children for the real world. It is your job. It is your job. Now, let's now get to the people that, are asking questions. So what if I am parenting alone by circumstances, you're a widow and all of that? I'm going to say this and I'm going to give an example with a friend of mine. If my friend is a widow, and I tell you for free, she has been able, right? She has been able to actually create a system for her boys that makes them have, a father figure in their life. I'm not, these are real life examples. You can create a system until you understand the role that a father figure even plays in the life of your child. That's when you can now sit back and say, I need one. If you don't, you're going to continue to sound woke. According to the Nigerian palace, where we say, oh, we are woke parents, woke single parents. I don't need a man. I don't need him to do anything. I have money. I can provide everything. That's the least of the issues. Provision. Provision is not the issue. We have a lot, much more to do. I need us to actually begin to look at this, parenting for men from a different perspective. If we do a rundown of the TIP Academy, we're going to find, women everywhere. Even in this class, how many men are here? But we're talking about fathers. This conversation is about fatherhood. Now, yes, I give it to them. I can see, a few men, who are here and all of that. And please share your questions. I can see questions already coming in so that we can, answer. For those of us who are asking us for the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge, please just put Sex Educate Like a Pro, just put replay, and we'll share details with you on how to get that challenge. Trust me, if you are a father, a parent in this dispensation, you need the replay of that CD. I was of that challenge. I was saying in that class that one of the things we don't understand is that parenting in Africa today is a ministry. Because without raising the right next generation, we're going to be in trouble. And if we don't get it, then there's a big challenge. So we can't just wake up and just do whatever it is, that we want. There's a question right here on our YouTube community. It says, is there a solution for a situation where the father is not deliberately absent, maybe due to death? Yes, Judah Farm, I've already answered that. There just has to be a father figure. If it's due to death, there has to be a father figure that the children can connect with. You need to find a way. It is important to the well-being of your child. If it's out of separation, allow the children to have access to their father. It is important. If you are divorced, let the children have access to their father. It is important. If it's because of location and all of that and work, you need to create a system that allows you to become present. I was sharing in the inner circle, a particular father is so involved. He lives in another country. I know because of circumstances, job and all of that. He wakes up every morning, wakes his children up, takes them through to take their bath, through communicating with them online and all of that. It's a different, he told me, he said it's a different time, line, but unfortunately, interestingly, this guy wakes up, he keeps to time, he puts everything his children can see, and the effect is glaring. He said he does all the homework with his children. The effect is glaring. He said, while I'm at it, I know that this is not what it should be. I am working hard to make sure that I do not have a system that separates me. I do not have a system that separates me from my child. So while you are at it, you're absent, all right? You're absent because of location. You're absent because of family and all of that, whatever it is due to work and all of that. Please ensure that you create a system that helps you get involved. It helps you get involved. I have a father who lives in the inner circle. He lives in Dubai. The family lives here. Both of them, the wife and the man, are both in the inner circle. His involvement is greater than most men who live with their children. His involvement is bigger. As in, he's so involved. Every parenting book recommended, he's reading it. If I tell him, oh, you need to do this, when I created the system that helps him connect with his children, homework, this one, he jumped at it. You need to do something. You can't just sit back and just say, oh, because there is we cannot. I'm outside. I can't call. I can't do all of that and all of that. What system have you put in place? All right. What system have you put in place to actually be able to help? Okay. Somebody asked me a question. He said, "What if the divorced father is an abusive parent? it's not easy. It's not like it's not like what we're saying that if you're an abusive parent, oh, go and leave. I'm not saying women should remain in an abusive environment. I am saying that please let the child know, have a communication with the father, create a system that works. I'm talking about the child. I'm not talking about you. If he's an abusive husband, it's not about the children. Please, we need to get it so that we can actually begin to take a look at it. This message is mostly for the Nigerian father. We are far away. Do all of these 1 plus more. Very correct. Oh yeah, Tochi, that's true. All right, that's very true. As in, we have a lot of this. Give us suggestions. Some of us are very far from our family. Bem Sinugo. I've actually shared examples of what you can do, how you can connect with your children. You can look at the time, that they get back to school and make sure that, oh, you call and then time for their homework. Oh, you're the one calling. You're the one doing it with them. Technology have even helped us a lot. For those of us who are, not in our families, not with our families currently. We have awesome technologies that can help you. This father I'm talking about, he's on Zoom, giving instructions, doing stuff and all of that. He practically lives there. The children, when I spoke to them, said, it's almost like our father lives here. Meanwhile, the father has also put in a system that is going to allow them to all live together. While you are at it, you need to create a system. Please, what solution can be proffered to women who carry the burden for parenting alone to keep the family together, despite having their husband around and living with them? For these women, I would say that you also begin to give opportunities to parent with you. I've also seen something, right, that there's a lot of us women, we because that's what we grew up to know, that mothers are the ones that do everything. So we tend to actually jump in. All right, we tend to actually jump into everything our children do. And then we also have this notion, I'm saying this not to bring down the role of the mothers or anything, but for us to actually have clarity. We also have this notion that it's all about what we do that is correct. That a father, they don't know, is he not a father? They don't know what to do. But that's not true. You can begin to give opportunities and begin to actually step back a bit in situations where it's not risky. So I had a conversation with someone I call a mentor, and while we were at it, I was like, fathers are not involved, they need to do more and all of that. And he said to me, I'm going to give myself, he's a pastor, and he said, I'm going to give myself use myself as an example. I tried to get involved, but my wife wouldn't let me. And a lot of the times I keep asking questions, why can't I do this? He said, no, don't worry, it's not for men. We also need to get it, that we need the husbands to get involved. We also need to get it. So we also need to step back on some of these roles. We also need to, tell ourselves, when a man, there are men in this broadcast, and I know that I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to bring down the role, what the women are doing in the absence of their husbands. But at the same time, I also want us to, tackle these from the place of, from a place of knowledge. I do not want us to, go casting blame. These conversations are not for blame casting. They're for solution. They're solution driven. What do we do? How has this affected you as a man? I have interviewed, quite a number of men, and they say the same thing. In fact, a man told me that immediately my wife had the baby, she shifted the attention from me to the baby and felt like I didn't know anything about parenting. And as at this time, I had taken parenting courses, but yet my wife felt I didn't know anything. She was the one that knew everything. So even when I suggested, oh, baby, let us just, do this for the child, he said, no, don't worry. You don't really know how it works. So we need to actually step back also and begin to give, create an environment that helps the man to be involved. Create that environment intentionally. Create it intentionally. It's not fight. Don't go fighting and go saying, oh, I heard one person talking about this today and all of that. No, we don't want fights. We're not interested in you going to fight anybody. We're saying that recognize that this job, there's a part of it that you can't do, and that this man needs to get involved. Begin to look for ways to actually make sure that he really gets involved. We need to step back a bit. Somebody was asking me recently, I'm talking about bedwetting for children, all right? And I was saying about bedwetting for children, and I was having this conversation, and the person said, so how did you do it with your children? Were you taking them out, to wee in the night and all of that? And I said to her, well, that part of my parenting journey, I can't share, I can't take that glory. I've never woken up before to go and take my children to ease themselves when they were learning how not to bedwet and all of that. I didn't do that, right? My husband had to. One of the things that I was able to do is, as soon as every night he would say he would he would take up, we created it, and then he was able to take up the role. I have seen a situation where a father was saying, don't worry, every night I'm going to be taking the children out to ease themselves and all of that. The wife said, no. Why? No, I beg. Please. I have girls. I have to be taking them alone. So there are too many issues. This could also come from a place of lack of trust in the relationship. It could also be one of the reasons why, parenting is also one-sided. There's a lot. It can also come from a place of, the woman is trying, the man has just this image. Most of the times is also the image that we grew up with. It's on two sides. The woman has the idea that parenting is only for the woman, because that's what you saw your mother do. So it is awkward to see that your husband is supposed to help. It's awkward to see that your husband is supposed to help in the kitchen to cook, or help with the children's nappies, or help with the children's school, what's it called? School homework, or help with the children's anything. So it's awkward for you. That's not the system that you saw. So it becomes even increasingly difficult for you to actually do some of those things. Now, on the side of the man, it could also be that what the man saw is that, oh, everything about parenting is for the woman. I didn't see my father, all right? I didn't see my father do any of this. So I can't do it. Why do I need to do it? It is your role. So in all of these extremes, which is why I am saying that it's difficult to undo the things we are creating, the relational events we are creating in the heads of our children unconsciously. They're going to, these are things that are going to influence the choices our children are going to make eventually, whether we like it or we don't. So even your inability to allow your husband do some roles in the home is the same thing. Even your inability to step into some roles in your home is the same system, because there are some things that have been, infused in our subconscious that can't just go. So we need to actually begin to look at these things differently. We need to call attention to them. We need to decide where we want to go. Are we just going to live in denial and continue to just say, oh, whatever it is, whatever what works for you? Maybe that's how we say it. Is it really about what works for you, or about what works for the child? What is good for the child? What exactly is the aim in raising a child? Is it not what is good for that child that is the aim? Is it is it that we feel is good? We need to begin to, rethink all of this, which is one of the reasons why we created the Intentional Parent Fathers Conference. In this conference is where we are calling attention to a lot of issues. Pastor Suri is going to be talking about the blessing of the father. We have another parent who is talking about how you can get involved in the real sense of it. Please bring all your questions. We're bringing fathers. It's a conference by fathers for fathers. We're just organizing it, in the TIP conference. I'm not speaking at the conference, all right? But we're getting, for people in fatherhood industry who are, creating these processes and saying, come and learn. So don't just sit back and just say, I don't need to learn anything, and all of that. All right. So it's interesting. Okay, for us, it's important for us to actually begin to look at how we can undo a lot of these things by the things that we do. Come for the conference, learn, invite your friends. For the women, we even created a DP where we can invite people. Take it up. Invite the parents and the husbands the men in your life, your husbands and all of that. You can just simply register for them. Let the links be shared to them in their email, and that will help them really to actually follow through. And if they are able to even begin to hear these things, then we can take it from there. It's not a war. We're not here to say, oh, because you have done this and all of that, so it's a war. No, 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 no. It's not a war. We're not here for war. We are here to actually make things, different. Thank you so much for sharing that topic. That the Fathers Conference link was shared by Tope. I've also shared it in the Telegram group, so you can also share with your family and your friends. It is free, FREE. It's not a paid conference. It's a conference. It's something we do annually. We do 2 conferences annually on the Intentional Parent Academy. We do the Fathers Conference, which is every June, and then we do the TIP annual conference, which is a global conference that takes a minimum 20 to 30 coaches in a space of 1 week. It's usually, fire from everywhere. The sessions, create a lot of, shifts in the minds of parenting. My aim is actually to use those 2 platforms to be able to create a shift in the parenting system that we already have in Africa. So please invite others. Please be there. And for those of us who heard me talking about, somebody is asking me about the Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge. Sex Educate Your Child, a Child Like a Pro challenge was something else. All right. We took it from the point of involvement of the 2 parties, the father, the mother. And everybody who was at that challenge will, we've already had people talk about that challenge, will be a witness that challenge was everything worth, their time, their data, and even more. So we are leaving it out for replay. You can get a replay of that challenge today. Between now and the time that the Fathers Conference starts, that replay will be sold for 5,000 naira. And when it starts, it's going to be sold for 10,000 naira. So you want to get the replay, follow it through. It's a 5-day challenge with, books for every day, workbooks for every day, what you need to do, how you need to follow it through. No, it wasn't one of those challenges that were saying, oh, just come there and just, come and rave and all of that. No, it was a challenge that we actually shared so that you will be able to walk through. All right. It was lit. That's the word. Back to back. Thank you, Tobe. It was awesome. All right. Get replays. Play it now that it's still at this fee. Once we take it off, interestingly, that challenge was just for 1,000 naira. But we already said to every parent that challenge was going to be, the replay was going to be, sold for 10,000 naira. But we're leaving it at 5,000 naira now, so that before the Fathers Conference starts, you could get it, go through it and all of that. You pay for it. You have access, to all the replays and all the days and all of that. You don't want to miss the opportunity to actually begin to do things differently on your parenting journey, because it's a different dimension. If you've ever heard anything about sex education, you've never heard what I shared in Sex Educate Your Child Like a Pro challenge. No, you haven't. I'm telling you for free, right? The parents that were there would tell you that no, you haven't. We had people who were preparing to get married in that course. We had single people, we had fathers, we had mothers. It was an awesome time. So you want to actually get a copy. If you have already put in to get a replay, right? And you are right in our YouTube channel. You're going to see us put up that replay, right? You want a replay, please send a chat to us. Let me just put our number. We have this link. Precious, if you can hear me, can you send in the link so that I can share this link on the YouTube community? All right. I don't think that link ever came here, but if not, you can simply send us a chat, right? You can simply send us a chat. Send us a chat. If you do not have our number, you can send us a chat to request for replay of that. Whole system. Thank you so much. All right, you can send us a chat to request for replay, all right, you can send us a chat. As soon as change, you're going to get all the details, right? Sex Educate Challenge was a blast. Yes, all the parents who were there could attest to it. It was nothing ordinary. We'll have video reviews coming in daily. We'll have ordinary reviews coming in every minute and all of that. So that's our number. You can send us a chat. You can email us at theintentionalparents@gmail.com, and then we would share details with you to be able to get access to the replay. For those of us on Facebook, we've been responded to. We've been responded to on how we can get on how we can get details and how you can actually join and get a replay. All right. Please also register for the Fathers Conference. There's already a link for registering for the Fathers Conference right on this broadcast. If you're on YouTube, you're going to have the details on our description to register for the Fathers Conference. It is free again. If you are on Facebook, you're going to see the link shared by Toby. I'm going to also tag it to the description of this video as well, so that you can also register. Please, it's free, but you need to register so that we can share a correspondence with you. Trust me, we are doing this to actually make sure that we create a balance, because we found out that that balance is actually lacking in our system. And for us to make any progress, then we need to do this. Did you get any value from this session? We have 16 minutes past our time. If you got value from this session, you're watching us on our YouTube channel, hit the like button. Hit the like button, share this video. If you are here, you're still here, and then share some fire emojis. That's what we like in the academy, and tell us that you got value. So let's see how many of you got value, right? If you got value, let's see that you got value. Let's see that you got value, and share with us here. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, Rich Dog Concept said they got value. Thank you. I hope this was not a waste of time for you. Got value being here. Thank you so much for joining us. Hit the like button if you're right on our YouTube channel. Share this link with your family and friends, because we want to reach more and more people. It's become important to us to reach people, reach more fathers. Share the link to invite them for the annual conference. Please share that link. If we're going to do anything differently, so we're going to move and shift this differently. All right. Thank you so much. It's been an amazing time with you. Chedoze is here. Chedoze is a teens coach, and Chedoze is going to be the moderator of the Fathers Conference. At the Fathers Conference, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a blast. Last year, some women sneaked into the Fathers Conference to come and be watching from the back. This year, we're going to flog you out. The Fathers Conference is usually an exciting time, all right? And if you're going to be there, you must keep quiet and say nothing, all right? So it's usually an exciting time, all right? Thank you so much for being here, Chedoze, and thank you for agreeing to moderate the Fathers Conference for us. The Father Conference is going to be all kinds of leads, right? Don't miss it. Share link with everybody in your circle of influence. All right, share this link so that they will get, if you're on YouTube, share this link, they will get to listen to it. Invite your friends, your family, and your friends on our Facebook community. If it was somewhere else where we are, doing a lot of other things and all of that, we're going to be inviting our friends, come and see, come and hear. Invite them the same way you invite them to say, come and see, come and hear what's happening. You need to begin to invite your family, your friends, so that we can change this narrative. We can't change it if we're the only ones listening. We can only change it if we're listening and other people in our circle of influence are listening. You have a problem, you can share the link with your husband, your family, your brother, because you might be that one influencing your brother for the wife. So influence the men in your life, and let another woman influence the men in their lives and all of that. If we all do that, I tell you, we're going to be able to create a better system for our children and also the society at large. Thank you so much for being with me, and do have an amazing day.